The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn made it official. It is Geno Smith's team. He is the starting quarterback for the New York Jets. We'll break that down and the latest from the NFL owners meetings. Ty Butler, my pal from ESPN New York, is our guest. It's the Jake Asman Show, live on a Monday. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. If you're watching live, make sure you click the thumbs up button. If you're not watching live, do the same thing. And as always, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Reminder, we're throwing a draft party for the first ever time on site where the draft is located. We have less than a month, 24 days to go until our first ever gangrene takeover event in Pittsburgh at McFadden's. Free event, just like going to the draft is free. Our party is free, just RSVP. If you will be joining us, the link to do so is in the description for this video. With that, let's say hello to a good friend of mine. You could catch his show every Sunday morning on ESPN New York. It's our guy, Ty Butler, who joins us now. Ty, happy Monday. Draft 24 days away. Baseball is back. I love you rocking the Yankee hat. Yanks off to a 3-0 start. How we feeling?
I feel great. Couple things I got to say. I want to explain the Yankee hat, and I know it's a Jet show, but fresh off of a 3-0 start to the season, you know I had to rep the boys in the Bronx. Another thing I want to say, man, this network, this community you've built is incredible. So shout out to you. I know it's not easy having to every day break down this pathetic football team, but it's certainly netted some positive results. So this draft party, and I'm on a roll here. I got a bunch to say. This draft party, I'm excited about it. I just hope what doesn't happen is, you remember the 2015 NBA draft and how Knicks fans treated Kristaps Porzingis? Hopefully we don't get that same situation with whoever the Jets draft, maybe a quarterback, and I'm sure we'll get to that if Simpson goes 16. But this is incredible, man. Great to be on the show. I'm feeling great. Monday, we're entering springtime. It's nice outside, and I get to talk to my man, Jake.
Well, let's go, man. We got a lot to get into, and you're right. Let's hope the Jets have a successful draft, because that's desperately what this franchise needs. Now, the NFL owners meetings, they got underway. They're going to be getting underway today. Glenn will have his official press conference with the beat reporters who made the trip out to Arizona, where the meetings are being held tomorrow morning. But he did do an interview yesterday with Judy Battista at the NFL Network, and an excerpt from that interview was released. Here's Aaron Glenn being asked about his new quarterback, Geno Smith.
Aaron, I know you've said Geno Smith is a Jet. What does it mean to have Geno back in the building?
It means to have a bona fide starter come in and lead this offense to where it needs to go. Listen, he's done it, a couple of years. I mean, those years in Seattle when he was, I think, comeback player of the year. Man, he was up for MVP early in the season. There's no doubt in my mind that we brought a competent starter here in this team. I look forward to him getting in the building.
So just to be clear, Geno Smith is the starting quarterback.
No doubt about it. He's our guy.
No doubt about it. He's our guy. I think people heard that and were like, what? You're not going to learn from the Justin Fields mistake where you just named him the starter with no competition? I don't know how you feel about it, Ty, but is anyone surprised about this? I mean, the backup right now is Bailey Zappi and Brady Cook. So, yeah, Geno Smith is the starter. He's the guy. Why would Glenn say anything but that at this point? So I think any outrage on this, I've seen some of it online. I've seen some of it in the comment section. I'm not going to go there. There's so many things to be outraged about with this franchise, and my criticisms of this head coach are well documented. Glenn saying there's no doubt Geno Smith's their guy. I'm just not going to be that upset about this in late March.
Hey, man, one of my biggest takeaways is what happened to Aaron Glenn. There's been a little bit of a deviation because when you asked about his quarterback last year, didn't want to tell you. We had to wait until Sunday morning to find out who Aaron Glenn's quarterback was. But you're right, man. Like, first of all, they just traded for him. What is he supposed to say, right? Like, you just traded for a quarterback who you're hoping can save your job. And so he has to inspire some level of confidence in him. I found this interesting, Jake, because I had Rich Amini on my show a couple of weeks back. And in preparing for the show, I came across like the column he had written about how the Jets last offseason were interested in Geno Smith. And so like this, I guess, description of Geno, the quarterback, would have made more sense last year when he was coming off of a 10-7 year. But you know what this screams to me, man? The ideal scenario for the Jets to find themselves in would be similar to what the Chiefs were in 2017. Now, obviously, no one is expecting them to be as good as Kansas City, but I'm strictly talking about the quarterback, where it is Geno starts for 16 games, and whoever they take, either with the 16th pick or in the later round, sees that final weekend where it's like a, show flashes, get people excited, show Woody that you have something brewing, and then maybe, just maybe, it's enough to settle on your quarterback for the following season. But I think we all expected, and he just proved it to be true, Geno is going to be their guy going into next season, and for better or for worse, right?
I mean, the only way this changes is if they draft, let's say, Ty Simpson in the first round, and Glenn opens the door for some sort of competition. But even then, it just feels like that would be extremely unlikely. Maybe unlikely they draft Ty, and then unlikely they even would want to put him in a position where he'd have to play right away. I mean, look, Geno Smith was probably the best they could do. I mean, we could argue, hey, maybe Derek Carr or whatever the truth is on if Kirk Cousins was actually an option or not. But I don't think anyone should be surprised about this. They need Geno Smith to be competent, and that's the word that Glenn used because that was the biggest issue a year ago. Justin Fields wasn't just bad. He was historically bad, like just competent level quarterback play. And if Glenn holds up his end of the bargain, his superpowers are calling plays on defense. They've spent a fortune to fix the defense. And all likelihood, the number 2 pick in the draft is going to be on a premier defensive player. There's no excuse if you get that competent QB play for this team to not be radically improved. Is that enough to save the coach's job?
Maybe.
To be determined. But like that's what they're trying to do, get competent quarterback play, and Glenn fixes the defense, and they're in way better shape.
So let's focus on the quarterback, right? Last 4 years of Geno Smith in order. It is comeback player of the year, which Aaron Glenn mentioned in that clip, and a Pro Bowl season. I know that has become a diluted accomplishment, but that's year one of this 4-year stretch. Pro Bowl season. Then last year in Seattle, he was fine. Turnovers were up, but they went 10-7 and barely missed out on a postseason spot. Now he ended that season, week 18, destroying the Rams, which I guess we can say it's a bit misleading because the Rams weren't playing anyone, but a career high 4 touchdowns. And then you get to last year with Vegas, and he was the worst quarterback the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, not named Justin Fields. And so that's his last 4-year run. Now, if I'm Geno Smith, and I'm walking into a room with Glenn, with Muji, and with Frank Reich, and I am making the case as to why last year was just an outlier, here's what he has to lay out. Guess who was the worst rushing team in the NFL? That would be the Raiders. Scoring defense, they were bottom 3rd. Sacks, they were dead last. Now, sacks is not just an offensive line stat. That's also like a quarterback stat. You watch football, you can see where the offensive line can be blamed or it can be the quarterback. And then they were also dead last in first down runs. And so you come to the Jets, what's to be expected? Breece Hall and company, they're not going to be the worst rushing team in the NFL, assuming health is not a question. The defense, as you just talked about, based on Aaron Glenn's superpower and the additions they made this offseason and what's to come in the draft, they should be markedly better. The offensive line is night and day compared to what Vegas had last year. They are going to run the ball on first down. And the last thing is Frank Reich is better than Chip Kelly. And so does that lead to a better Geno Smith than we saw last year? I think the evidence should suggest yes. How much of a significant improvement to be determined? But if you're a Jet fan, I think this infuses just a little bit of life into what was a pathetic football team last year.
It's hard to be worse than what they got at the quarterback spot. There's no doubt. And look, I'm not expecting Geno Smith to give us the ironic 2015 Ryan Fitzpatrick season by any means, but at least Geno is saying the right things in the interviews he's done. Like, you could tell this matters to him being back with the Jets. I like that. I like the fact that he's got some skin in the game. I'm not, again, expecting much, but at least if you want to be like the optimistic Jet fan, and there's still some out there who, no matter what, will try and spin it positive. There's at least he's got the skin in the game type of element to Geno being back.
Bro, I don't know if you caught Bart and I going at it. Yo, Jet fans were coming at my head top because I had the audacity to be critical of Aaron Glenn after last year. And people were just, I'm amazed at how much optimism still exists. Like, I just laid a case out for how Geno can be good, and that is what it is. But the amount of vitriol, and you've been subjected to this, that people just lose their minds when you had like the audacity to go at Aaron Glenn. It's crazy, bro. Like, it is like levels of insanity that go beyond like comedic stand-up.
What would you say is like the baseline for Glenn to save his job? Because you and Bart were batting this around. You were someone saying, I have no faith in the coach, and rightfully so. It might be better long-term for the Jets to be bad one more year, start over, new coach, pick your quarterback in 2027. But what would Glenn have to do for him to be here in 2027, get a third year, in your opinion?
So it's not just wins and losses, but you get to 6 wins and you can sell the owner on, look, we doubled our win total, right? The defense was, and this is what's actually going to help Glenn. Like, the defense was historically bad last year. Like, it is impossible to be as bad as they were. And so if you just see improvement, and the improvement is significant, and coming from where they were, it should be significant. And now that he's the play caller, I think the combination of those two things should be enough. Geno's not going to be as bad as Justin Fields. Don't embarrass yourself. So in all phases of the game, right? Special teams, we know the Jets were pretty good. Their defense should be better. Their offense should be better. He's the play caller. I think those things working in concert, in addition to them getting to like 6 wins, which, Vegas has them at 5.5. So all you're asking is just hit the over and barely do so, I think would be enough for ownership to look at this and say, all right, we're going in the right direction.
It, to me, is fascinating because I think you're right. It's not even just the win total, it's how it looks, because they start 1-7 like Adam Gase did his first year, but then they win 6 of their final 8 games to finish 7-9. That's not the same type of 7-win season compared to the 7-win season they had, for example, in 2022 when they were 6-3 and then collapsed after they were 7-4 and lost the last 6. So I think the eye test matters, man. They got to get out to a good start. They got to win a division game early on in the year. The schedule, at least on paper, is brutal. All this matters at the beginning of the season to kind of stabilize things if Glenn even makes it through the entirety of year 2.
Yo, and you know what's so funny? So you and I both got ripped because people felt like we treated like his media sessions with a level of importance that like other fans just didn't care about. And they were just like, yo, it's because you guys are in the media, you're biased. He sounds like a completely different person, right? Like, this doesn't sound like the same guy. So I do believe that someone got in his ear and said, man, it's going to be hard to survive if you're both bad and unlikable. And so him changing his tone, not having to be as combative. I'm not saying you can't put your team in position where you want to have some competitive advantages. So not releasing all of the information to the media, like you're able to do that. You're the head coach. But it just felt silly at times last year what he was doing. And so I think, in addition to all of the other things we discussed, just correcting his behavior as far as like being a little bit more likable will help in that regard. And
then he still kind of has moments though where he reverts back to like the old cocky Glenn. Like, he definitely got his teeth kicked in. He got humbled throughout the year. But then at the combine, the unnecessary line of, well, play calling is my superpower. Like, just putting that target on you for no reason. Like, that's going to be used again. So they give up 30 to the Bills week 1 and lose 35-10. Every person in America is going to be making the same joke.
So what did you make of, because I asked this to Bart, if this was your superpower, first year on the job, you talk about like culture building, changing the mentality of this team, putting together a program that's going in the right direction. If this is your superpower, Why not utilize that last year? Like, it just didn't make sense to me, which is why, like, if you believe the superpower thing, cool. Saying that out loud just counteracts everything that you're trying to do, because it just creates like this confusion as to why this superpower was never utilized a season ago when your team was such a disaster on defense.
It's mind-boggling to me, but he put the pressure on himself. They spent all this money to get his type of defensive players now in free agency. Pick 2 in the draft is probably going to be a defensive player. We could debate who, but it's going to be a defensive player that Aaron Glenn is heavily involved in selecting. There is no excuse for this team not to improve. Speaking of great defense, Mark Gastineau's sign helmet is the giveaway today across our shows. Enter the Asmaniac Raffle to win this helmet by gifting a membership to your fellow listener or sending in a $10 super chat or higher. And for those of you who missed the Asmaniac Raffle on Saturday, we now have a new set of weekly prizes. Our top prize this week is the GOAT signed football by Darrelle Revis. Prize 2, signed football by G-Dub Garrett Wilson. And our final prize, another member of the New York Sack Exchange, a signed jersey by the great Joe Klecko. So enter for your chance to win any of those prizes. And again, daily raffle prize today is a signed Mark Gastineau helmet. We got a super chat from PBM, Purple Belt Mike. That starts us off today. He says, Ty, it's PBM. Big shout out for coming on the show. Keep doing your thing with ESPN, and congrats on the Sunday show.
All love, brother. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate the love. My man sent $5, baby. Super chat. Yo, Jake, you got it popping on this network, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the first time I've been on in 2 years, which I don't know how I should feel about that.
No way. I thought I had you on last offseason at some point, or maybe
I don't know, because I was living in a different apartment. So that timeline description makes it feel longer. So I don't know how I should feel about that.
That's interesting. I did not realize that. We'll definitely have to get you on a lot faster this go around. This comment is from the doc, who says, being outraged Glenn named Geno as a starter is like complaining about the food on the Titanic. There might be a few other issues. I agree, Doc, and I don't think anyone should be surprised. What will be interesting, Ty, and we'll transition to this now, from one Ty to another. If they do take Ty Simpson, what's the role for Ty? Because last year, Russell Wilson's the starter for the Giants. Jameis is the backup. Oh, we don't want Dart to play. All of a sudden, you lose a couple games. If you're Brian Dable trying to save your job, you make the move, and you go to Jackson Dart a lot earlier than anyone originally anticipated. Maybe a little different with Ty. He has not played as many games as Jackson Dart played in college. But what's your read as we sit here right now in the Ty Simpson debate amongst Jet fans?
So it's actually really similar, the Jets and the Giants, just from a year ago. But the key difference is Dable was an offensive guy, right? Like, his superpower was offense, whereas like Aaron Glenn is not that guy. Now you bring in Frank Reich and you hope that he's going to be better. My read on this thing is I just get annoyed this time of the year, because we're all locked into the draft and we're going through the mocks, and there is such a wide-ranging view on where Ty Simpson is. Like, Joel Klatt came out with his mock the other day. He was on Cowherd Show, and he's got the Jets taking Simpson at 16, but then in the clip, he explained to you all the reasons why the pick would be bad. It's like, since the start of this century, 2 quarterbacks with the fewest starts in college have gone on to win Super Bowls, and that's Brady and Sam Darnold. And then you've got Matt Miller with the Jets taking Simpson at 33. Phil Simms, I interviewed him on Bart and Carlin. He's high on Ty Simpson. But there are other guys who are like, yeah, he's a 3rd or 4th round guy. So my view on this is I don't feel comfortable with the lack of experience. I also don't quite understand, Jake, the ideology of, all right, hasn't started enough in college. Let's sit him behind Geno Smith, and that's going to help his experience. Like, you only get experience by playing. And so I've got mixed feelings on it. I'm trying to talk myself into it, because I do believe that the Jets around Ty Simpson are a better football team as far as their roster construction. I've got all the belief in the world in Frank Reich. And I think that if they take him, like, I just got to hope and believe that they really believe in this guy. But gun to my head, man, should he be the 16th pick in the draft? I'm just saying no. I'm with you. I just don't feel comfortable with that.
The lack of starts is just a clear data point that you could use over history of the last 25 years to say It's not worth taking him. Now you could justify him being in a unique spot. Backup at Alabama is different than other places. Going up against those guys in practice, what he does really well, right? It translates to today's game, the intermediate throws, the ability to process. You could try and talk yourself into Ty. His performance at the beginning of the year was great till he suffered the injury in Alabama, fell apart. But here's the cut that you referenced from Joel Klatt, and I think this is why you and I are so aligned. And I wouldn't do it at pick 16.
Real success in the NFL as a quarterback, you've got to have a lot of experience in college. Did you know that the two quarterbacks that started the fewest number of games in this century to win a Super Bowl, the fewest college starts are Sam Darnold and Tom Brady, both in the mid-20s? I mean, that should tell you something about what you need moving forward, and he just doesn't have that being a one-year starter.
So it's just tough to justify it at pick 16. If he fell out of the first round, they wanted to take a swing at 33, I would understand it, because best case, then maybe you have your guy, and then you don't need to invest any of your first rounders in 27 in a quarterback, and next year's not guaranteed. Like, I understand all the arguments for taking a chance on him, but at pick 16, when you only have that pick in the first place because you traded away a two-time first-team All-Pro corner, I need a bona fide playmaker there, or a big-time player that could be here that's not as much of a dart throw as a guy with 15 career starts.
So, look, we can rephrase what Joel Klatt just said. What Joel Klatt just said, since the start of the century, guys with the fewest starts to win a Super Bowl up until last year was the greatest quarterback of all time. And so is the expectation that the Jets will be the team that bucks that trend? And I'm just saying no, because as you just talked about, like, he was bad the last half of the year, and he can explain it away, his injuries and nagging injuries that he lost. I think he said he lost 30 pounds last season, like throughout the season, which is kind of insane to think about.
He had gastritis. So the back injury led him to have to take medicine that led to gastritis. So he dropped to 190, and he said at the combine he was back up to 215.
Yeah, and it would explain why he was inconsistent and it's sometimes really bad that last half of the season. But I don't feel great about that. But here's the counter, Jake, because if you are a Jet fan, the counter to that would be, how does it make sense? You feel good about a guy at 33, but you're out on him at 16. Because, look, if this is your quarterback, if this is someone you believe can come in here and at some point become your franchise guy, then just take him whenever he's available. Now, don't take him at 2, because you're going to be able to get him a little bit later in the draft, and at 2, you're going to get a superstar, presumably. But if you're taking him at 33 and you think he's good enough to be taken with the first pick in the second round, I guess he's good enough to be taken at 16. Like, that's what I'm not saying I agree with that, but I could understand why that would be the stance of someone disagreeing with us. That makes
100%.
sense.
Yeah, and that's how probably teams look at it. Like, from a fan perspective, it's like, like I like him. I don't love him. The Jets, if they're going to take him at 16, they'd be telling you, Ty, they love him. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to draft Ty Simpson at 16, everyone in the organization needs to be aligned in that, hey, our plan might have been to wait till 27 when we made these deals at the trade deadline to acquire picks. But no, we actually think we got a guy right now. Muji was in Denver, where they went through the Bo Nix process with Sean Payton. If he thinks this is the guy, Frank Reich, who's an offensive guy, and Bill Musgrave, who's a QB coach who's done it forever, if they're all aligned and ownership's on board, like everyone is pulling the same rope, then that's the only way I think you could justify taking him as high as 16.
So let me ask you a question, because you just brought up a very, very interesting name, Bo Nix. If I told you the Jets were getting Bo Nix at 16, but Bo Nix would not be available at 33, are you drafting him? And I'm saying Ty Simpson becomes Bo Nix. If you are able to get Ty Simpson, who in this theoretical scenario is Bo Nix, but you can't get him at 33, are you signing up for that?
If you tell me Ty Simpson's Bo Nix, then yes.
Because Bo Nix, like, at the time, no one thought was going to become as good as he did. Then you got to the playoffs last year, and it's the first round against the Bills, and he has that deep touchdown pass. Now, they were done scoring after that, but it's like, man, it's him and Jaden as the best quarterbacks in this draft, because Caleb stunk. He had a 10-game losing streak, and then Drake May's team wasn't any good. And so, like, that obviously has changed, but I still believe in Bo Nix as a quarterback who could win. But part of that is like his head coach and team around him, and they just made a big trade.
And
But
he had the most amount of starts ever by a college quarterback, whereas Ty Simpson is on the total opposite end.
Correct.
Where, I've been showing this chart that I put together just to kind of show it to everyone watching on YouTube just how big of an outlier he would be if he goes in the first round. I mean, over the last 25 years, these are the guys who have gone in the first round with this few amount of starts. And even Cam Newton, I added the important context. While he only had 13 starts in college, one, it was one of the greatest seasons ever. He won the Heisman and the national title. Two, he's a physical specimen, unlike Ty, who's not built like an Adonis like Cam was. And Cam also had 12 starts at community college for what it's worth. Like the other names on this list, it's alarming. It's why if you're going to do it, I understand the appeal of doing it if he falls out of the first round, which, by the way, I actually think could happen. I saw another mock today from Matt Miller saying he couldn't find a team that was going to take him in round one. We all just assume, he's a quarterback, he's going to go in the first round. It's tough to find that team, though. Like,
maybe.
Again,
how about the Rams?
Maybe, but they seem all in to try and win a Super Bowl right now. Are they really going to burn a first-round pick on time?
I made that. So that was the argument that I had. Like, I'd be red hot. Like, Rodgers went through this with the Packers. Like, I would be red hot if I'm Stafford in the midst of our championship window. And we know like that runway is not long. He's 37 years old. He could retire at the end of next season. And you're spending a first-round pick on a guy who's not going to help us this year. But I keep bringing him up because, I did the show with him and he challenged his take. Bart's like, yeah, it makes sense. Phil Simms like, yeah, it makes sense because the Rams are just so well run. They can find a way because they've got everything, man. Their offense is elite. Their defense, they made some moves this offseason. Ty Simpson, I guess in theory, could go to the Rams. I wouldn't agree with it, but it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, the teams I think that could make sense for him. I suppose Miami with 2 first-round picks, including one at the end, maybe, but they already invested big money in Malik Willis. You could sell me on Cleveland. They have 2 first-round picks, including one in the late 20s. I think it's at 26. Pittsburgh at 21, I suppose, is a possibility. Obviously, the Jets at 16 is a possibility, but it's tough to find that team. Maybe Arizona could trade back into round one the same way we talk about the Jets potentially doing that. But I don't think it's a lock he goes in the first round like some have said. In fact, if I was betting on it today, 24 days out from the draft, I think Ty Simpson's there at 33 and the Jets are faced with quite the decision.
Well, here's another thing though. Like if he starts to drop, let me pull up the draft board because the Giants, we used them as an example. Like if he starts to drop, do you just get like the itch if you're the Jets? I can't wait until 33. Like I'm going to trade up to get him. Like, does that happen? Like, do they?
It could.
Like that could ultimately end up happening. And so it's fascinating, man. Like we went through this last year with the Shador stuff, and he ends up falling to the 5th round. And I don't think Ty Simpson is quite Shador because there was some other things working there. But like how wide ranging this is, it's also scary. I did this kind of work assignment before I got on here. We've had some bad quarterback drafts the last couple of years. Like last year was great, right? Cam Ward, Jackson Dart. The year before that, awesome with Caleb, Jaden, Drake, and Bo. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. But then it's like Anthony Rich and Will Levis. You look at the 2022 draft, man. Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, who just signed a big contract, Matt Corral, Bailey Zappi, Sam. Like we've had some bad. Like the 2019 draft, Kyler, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, Drew Lock. And so the reason why I bring that up is because I was prepared to have this take today. What are the odds that Fernando Mendoza is the only good quarterback in this draft? Like we get hits in 3rd round, 4th round, but then you go back and look at recent history. No, man, like it's actually on the table. Fernando Mendoza is the only good quarterback in this draft.
100%. I mean, it's the position is such a crapshoot, and Ty would be more of a crapshoot than your typical first-round QB because of the historic data that shows you lack of starts matters in terms of NFL success. So I'm right there with you. Hey, how about this from Marine Jet Vet? He's the first to gift memberships today. How about a 5-spot of channel memberships from Marine Jet Vet? He's in the signed Mark Gastineau helmet raffle today for 5.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
Marine Jet Vet, we appreciate you. How about the super chat from Kevin, who says if the receivers are gone at 16, would you go Vega or Sadiq? So Vega Ione, the guard from Penn State, or Kenyon Sadiq, the freakish athlete tight end from the Oregon Ducks. I think I would actually lean with weapon here. I would lean with Sadiq. I'm tired of just taking offensive linemen in the first round. I want to get playmakers. I think if you take Sadiq, then you still could double up on a wide receiver at 33 or 44. So that's my logic. What say you, Ty?
I actually don't. So I disagree with the premise that all the receivers are going to be gone by then, but I would go playmaker there, Sadiq, or I would also entertain a trade back, acquire some more assets just because the team, we know, has a lot of holes to fill. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'd go tight end right away.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, your super chats, they will cut the line. We are presented today by my friends at Rula. Let me talk about Rula, and then I got some more topics I want to throw Ty Butler's way. Rula, if you're a Jet fan, you already know what stress is. Sundays, Mondays, like today, Thursdays, the offseason, draft, free agency, being invested in the Jets is a full-time emotional commitment, and that's kind of like what real life could be as well. I've seen so many people who could benefit from therapy when things start piling up. The problem is it's hard to get started, or it's usually way too expensive, and that's where Rula could come in. Rula is a healthcare provider group that makes therapy simple and affordable. They work with the most major insurance plans, and the average copay is about $15 per session, which is less than a beer. At MetLife, with Rula, you get matched with a licensed, vetted therapist who actually fits what you're looking for, and you can book sessions fast, sometimes as soon as the next day. No long waits, no guessing, no nonsense. If you're ready to invest in your mental health the same way you invest in the Jets every week, go to Rula.com/Asman, and you can get started today. That's RULA.com/Asman. Take the first step and take control of your mental health with Rula. Ty, you got to love the fact that as a host of a Jet podcast, you know many Jet fans need therapy. So shout out to Rula for coming on board.
Man, that's awesome. It is very appropriate. Now, was that the selling point, or did this just happen coincidentally?
I'm sure that had to have been the selling point. There's no doubt about that. Shout out to Ozzy Fullers, who is in the Asmaniac Raffle for one.
Play call is my superpower, really.
Thank you, Ozzy. Got you down for the signed Mark Gastineau helmet. Ty, I don't know if you've been following the debate at pick 2 for the Jets, but Arvell Reese is the favorite at most of the sports books, including our sponsor, FanDuel, to go number 2 to the Jets. There's a large segment of the Jet fan base that would prefer David Bailey instead. There's also some that really want Sonny Styles. Where are you at with pick 2? Your thoughts on what you would do if you're Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn with that selection?
So one of the funniest things, like social media is so interesting because, and it has this, like, it's a gift and a curse element to it. And I talked about this yesterday. You are part of a culture, if you exist on social media, that you're not allowed to exit the app until you find something that you're outraged by, which brings me to Arvell Reese. Like, people saw his videos and they're ripping him. Oh, he's clearly not the guy. This is not how you do it. And I think Micah Parsons actually contributed to some of the discourse. I'm going with Arvell Reese because of those guys. I think he's the most versatile. You can play him everywhere. He's athletic. He's got speed. And if I'm to believe, again, operating from a place of optimism with Aaron Glenn, exuding this superpower, I think there's a lot he can do with Arvell Reese as opposed to these other guys. So I think it's a slam dunk pick. I don't know anyone that who I trust as far as like their football expertise that would be against the Jets taking Arvell at 3 or at 2. I'm sorry. And so I lean that way based on the experts and what I've seen from Reese.
I think Reese has the highest ceiling. I think at pick 2, and I've gone back and forth on this, but I think you're swinging for the superstar potential there. And while I like a lot of what David Bailey does, I think he's closer to like a finished product. He'll get you double-digit sacks every year, but I don't think he's great necessarily against the run. I think he's a little one-dimensional, whereas I think Arvell Reese could do everything. And I actually have faith that he'd be walking into a pretty good situation from a coaching standpoint with the Jets hiring Carl Dunbar to be their D-line coach once again. So that was my big concern. Like, if you're going to draft him, will there be a real plan? I think there will be with Dunbar there. So I lean Reese, but I'm not going to be that upset if they were to take Bailey and even Styles for that matter. Because let's be real, at the end of the day, the goal is to hit on this pick and get it right.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the Giants, they took Kayvon Thibodeau 5th overall several years ago. Well, in hindsight, if they could do it over, they'd take Kyle Hamilton in that spot, and who ended up going 14. So you got to get it right. And that's kind of my big thing with this. Like, I won't freak out as long as there's sound logic to their decision making.
I think while that makes sense, the Kyle Hamilton thing, it's like the value draft charting, like the safety versus getting someone on the defensive line. But I'm with you, man. I think he has the highest ceiling of all of these guys. And that's the pick that I want at number 2. It's a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Do you think there's any chance they can move at it too? I find it hard to believe personally, but do you see any trade scenarios for the Jets?
I don't see it happening. Yo, this is all in it for this season. And let me back up for a moment. A lot of the people who are like the Jets are going to punt on the quarterback position until 2027. The flaw in that is 2027 might not exist for this regime. And I know we are higher on Muji than Glenn, but there's a scenario that exists where they both can. Which brings me back to this, like you're trading back, which means that you're also punting on getting the potential best player in the draft. And I just don't think that that's sound decision making and a gotta have it season for this Jet organization. That's why it doesn't make sense to me.
Your thoughts on the need at wide receiver? There's been some talk. I know Rich Cimini reported over the weekend some names to look at that position in the trade market. The biggest name is Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jaguars. Let's say it would cost the 44th overall pick in the second round to get him. Would you be willing to use that in a trade to land him?
Now, before I answer that question, what happens with 2, 16, and 33 first?
Let's say this is before the draft, so you don't
know. Oh, okay. And so we don't know. Man, that's a tough question. But I guess if you are, and he's the hot name, because Connor Hughes talked about him yesterday too. If you are doing this exercise correctly, then I think parting with the 44th pick in the draft to upgrade at receiver, as again, you're going all in on a season and you're arming your quarterback, Geno Smith, who is going to start the entire year with some weapons, then yeah, I got to do it. Like if I am trying to save my job, get this program in the right direction, and I've got Garrett coming back from which, by the way, just quick aside, my favorite Jet stat of last year. You ready? Garrett Wilson leading the team and receiving yards. Playing what did he play? 8 games. It was like November 18th was his last game. The Jets' last game was January 3rd. But anyway, it's Garrett, it's AD, and now you have Brian Thomas Jr., Breece Hall back, presumably. I'm figuring they're going to work something out before the deadline here in July. And then you add Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, I think I'd do that. Because the question is, like, could you get someone better in the draft at that position at 44?
And that's the thing. Do you trust the Jets to get that right? Given their history of day 2 and day 3 wide receivers, I lean with probably not. But, I mean, new regime, give them a chance. For their first swing at it was Arian Smith in the fourth round when he was a UDFA level player. All the draft guys said, and that was a disaster his first season.
But what didn't make sense about that pick to me was like his clear glaring issue was drops. And it's like, oh, great. Like he struggles catching the football, and we're just gonna draft this guy. But yeah, I guess that also to your, like, if they're doing this trade before the draft, then I guess at 16 you're not taking a receiver, right?
If you trade before the draft and land him, I'd be shocked if they doubled up on receiver at 16.
Yeah.
Then.
So you're going defense or defense quarterback? That's what makes it tricky.
Guard, maybe interior offensive lineman. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could double up on receiver if you love a guy who fell, but I'd be a little surprised if they did.
I don't think that's a great allocation. My bad, my inbox. I don't think that is a great allocation of resources if you're trading for a receiver at 44 and then you're drafting one at 16. To me, this is like a one or the other kind of thing, especially when you already have Garrett.
I think that's well said. Ty, I'll get you out of here with this. I'm presented by FanDuel, so let's take a look right now at the odds to win the national championship. Here are the odds for the Final Four. I want your take on it. You're a hoops guy. Your thoughts on Arizona, Michigan, UConn, and Illinois as the Final Four in Indianapolis will get underway Saturday night.
I will start with this thought, and it's going to be a very, very unpopular take, so brace yourself. Man, I'm mad that Duke lost. And I'm not a Duke fan. I'm a Syracuse guy. But This is a classic example of we root for upsets until we realized, man, Duke would have been more fun. This was the Philadelphia Eagles last year when people hated the Eagles. We get to the Super Bowl and it's like, man, wouldn't it have been more interesting if it was Patriots, Eagles? With that said, I think the best team I've seen is Michigan. So I'm rolling with Michigan. So according to this, they're the favorites. Yeah. So I'm rolling with Michigan. They're the best team I've seen top to bottom. Blowout yesterday. I would have loved to see Duke, Michigan. I thought that would have been a classic match, but Michigan's the best team I've seen. I guess you can't count out UConn because Dan Hurley is just a mastermind when it comes. Yeah. He's Did you see the video of his mom going nuts? There's like all these different camera angles. His mom's in the stands. You got to check it out, man. It's really cool. Even if you're like someone who doesn't like Danny Hurley, his mom in the stands, her reaction is incredible. But the fly in the ointment here would be, I think he's the best coach of the remaining coaches, but Michigan's the best team. So I'm picking them to win a national championship. But it should be a fun weekend, man. It's going to be great.
Looking forward to it, man. Ty, great to get you on. Everyone go subscribe to Ty's YouTube channel, the Ty Butler Show. You see the logo behind him there. You can listen to Ty Sunday mornings on 880 ESPN New York. Let's go, Yanks. Ty, appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely, man. Anytime, bro. Holla at me.
Ty Butler with us there. Hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We talked to March Madness. Now let's set the stage for Asmaniac Madness this morning. The round of 32 continues. We'll look at the updated bracket as we make our way through the round of 32 on Saturday, AKA our first matchup in the round of 32. It was the 1 seed, the number 1 overall seed, Kyle Clifton, defeating Rob, the Jet fan. So now we make our way to the next matchup in the round of 32 of the inside-outside region. Today, it's Peter Castro and David T squaring off, going head-to-head. Ladies and gentlemen, first, I play you a submission video from Peter Castro.
Vote for my poppy. Go Jets.
Short and sweet. Shout out to Peter Castro and the Castro family for sending that. Before we open up voting, let's now hear from Peter Castro's opponent on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is a man who always has his eye on the prize.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me, full screen, bitch. Fireball, whiskey time, David motherfucking T.
Hi, Jake.
David T.
I'm just here to show my face. Peter Castro, a legend. I'm proud to be an Asmaniac, and I am going to cast my vote for Peter, and I hope he moves along. I'm a winner already, Jake. I had again the opportunity to be a part of the Asmaniac Madness.
David T., you are truly the nicest guy ever. You're the man. Plenty of people are going to vote for you, though, despite you endorsing your competitor.
Well, yeah. Hey, if I get 1 or 2 votes, that would at least say somebody voted for me. But hey, going up against Peter's like Butterbean going up against Muhammad Ali. If you last half a round, you're a winner.
Good job.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. The great David T.
I got my eye on you, Jay. I hope you like my Jets take. They call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David T., one of the all-time greats. Truly, one of the greats. Voting for Asmaniac Madness this morning is officially underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? Asmaniac Madness. You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
Vote. Your vote determines who faces Kyle Clifton in the who faces Kyle Clifton in the Sweet 16. Right now, I want to shout out Mike D's Nuts, who just sent me a Venmo to purchase himself some raffle entries for the signed Mark Gastineau helmet. D's Nuts, he won a signed Vinny Testaverde jersey on our show on Friday. Mike D's Nuts, I sent it out yesterday, so you will have it early this week. And when Mike D's Nuts gives some membership, we play this.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts. Hey, for another gifted membership. Hey.
Oh, yeah. All right, open phone lines for those of you who want in on the conversation. Big shout out to everyone who's tuned in live. Owners meetings underway in Arizona this year. Glenn, even though he gave the interview to NFL Network yesterday, will do a full press conference with the beat reporters at the coaches' breakfast for the AFC coaches tomorrow morning. I did see Darren Muji will speak today. I don't have a time for that. I haven't seen the Jets post that anywhere, but we will react to what the Mooj says this afternoon on the show. Super chat from Brian Morales, who says David T is an absolute legend. You ain't wrong. David T is, in fact, a legend. Super chat, a.k.a. not a super chat. How about a gifted membership from David Atkins? He is in the raffle for one. And it went to the big fella. Congratulations to the big fella on being a channel member. All right, get in the raffle if you want in. I got open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. And let's start it off this morning with the champion of last year's Asmaniac Madness, the Bones.
The only thing worse than the New York Jets is cheap-ass shoes and head coach blues. At least we got Muji and some first-round picks. Jake, my brother, I'm trying to get hype, but this team sucks, and Joe Bones, he needs me to sell new flippers to this fat dumpster fire.
Yo, I'll call you back.
I'll take it.
I'm with 3 customers. I'll call you back.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, defending champion Bonesy, hard at work. Let's say hello to another man who's always hard at work. He was having a hissy fit with Gator all weekend, I was being told. Let's see what type of terrible mood he's in today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a man that we call the Beast. 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 Beast Breaker.
I'm getting breakfast. Oreo
Beast
cereal.
Breaker.
I said I'm getting breakfast.
Beast Breaker.
It's your goddamn turn like everybody else and take a number.
Why don't you calm
Oreo.
down?
Oreo time.
What are you eating for breakfast?
Oreo cereal.
That's not healthy, Beast. You're going to die of heart failure.
Can I afford anything like I used to? Rule 1. No. Can't afford
What happened? I thought you had all these jobs.
I'm not even.
Maybe you should unretire.
Do I have to sound like Roddy Piper and just like, you know?
You're eating Oreos for breakfast.
Do I have to make it? Do I have to make this loud clear? Yeah, I've been through it all.
What have you been through? You're eating Oreos for breakfast. It sounds like you're having a great time.
I'm trying to enjoy. Yeah, I don't think you get it. You know, you don't get it.
I don't think you get it. You're eating Oreos for breakfast. Your life isn't so bad. Stop complaining.
My life isn't that bad. Right.
Your life is great.
Bullshit. Mine's been.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's standing, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
What's up, Asmaniacs? How you guys doing today? So we have let's talk about some moves. So Aaron, Mr. Trusty Brogline says, "Oh my God, Geno Smith is going to be the starting quarterback." Honestly, we need a quarterback competition. You know, Geno Smith should be pumping gas in Jersey somewhere because the guy can't cut it. He is boring. He is not good, Jake. He has 32 interceptions the last 2 years. We need a backup quarterback in the draft. And whether we need to either get Will Levis, we need to get Diego Pavia. Pavia is a baller. And, you know, every Jets fan will be like, oh, we shouldn't take him. He's so undersized. Come on. He's a good arm. just because he's 5'9" doesn't mean he's bad, Jake. He turned around Vanderbilt football. Vanderbilt was at doldrums in the SEC before Pavia was there. He turned around the Vanderbilt program. If you could turn around Vanderbilt, you could turn around the New York Jets, because the Jets have the longest playoff drought in North American sports, 15 years. If you could turn around Vanderbilt football, you could turn around the Jets. That's just my thoughts on it, Jake. And he has a good arm,
You want Diego Pavia, who's 5'9" and 3/4, to be the backup quarterback, Mad Max?
I would take Pavia. He has heart. He has fight. He was doubted his whole life. He has heart. Jake, what I want a player is I want players that fight. I want players that fight and character. Diego Pavia has fight. He has heart.
No.
He has fight. He has heart. Watch his highlights.
Can you hear
Watch
me?
his highlights, Jake. He has a good arm. He has fight. He has character.
Mad Max, let's talk about things that are more important. What's your take on Beast eating Oreos for breakfast?
It's not a good. Beast is eating the most unhealthy breakfast. It's good as a snack, but not for breakfast. A real American breakfast, Jake: scrambled eggs, pancakes, and sausage. Is a real.
I'm just a little grouchy today. I didn't get much sleep. Almost fell off the bed. Almost hurt my asshole this morning.
Beast Breaker, why you eat Oreos for breakfast? Honestly, Beast, why you eat Oreos for breakfast? Very bad. It's not healthy for you.
You got a lot of ball. You know that.
Honestly, Beast, eat an all-American breakfast. Eat scrambled eggs, some sausage with some toast. Eat some sausage. All-American. It's Beast. It's the all-American breakfast right there.
On your freaking hands and knees like I've done for years.
Honestly, Beast.
Let me
What are you doing right now? What are you doing? I've probably done more today, Beast.
What do you care?
Because I've done more than you today, Beast. Honestly, I've been thinking about it there.
Squat. And you know what I mean by it's squat. It's squat. It's squat.
Honestly, Beast, let's talk about Asmaniac Madness.
My hairdo too. Hey, asshole! You got nothing better to do. Be a wimp, a weakling, and a chump.
Honestly, Beast, you're just jealous I'm running the Deadly Alliance region as Asmaniac Madness. Australian Jet fan, he thinks he has competition. He's not going to be BJ. He's going to be. Come on, I'm going to be Australian Jet fan. He thinks he's going to compete with me. No, he's not.
I can break you in submission and break you up like a little pretzel. Right.
Great call there from two titans of the Asmaniac community. Reminder, draft party, 24 days away. Have you RSVP'd? Let's go.
Draft Day 2026 live from Pittsburgh. Jets Nation on the clock. Gangrene take Fat McFadden's. Day and night draft party. Hosted by the Jake Asman Show. Thursday, April 23rd, doors open at noon. Let's go! Yeah!
Join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. No matter what the Jets do, at least during the day, we know it's going to be a blast. Let's go, baby. See you all in Pittsburgh. I can't wait. Let's get to more of your calls here on our show. Chef Brian is next. What's up, Brian?
Yo, what's up, Jay? How you doing, man? Good morning.
Hey, Brian. It's making that noise again. You letting it rip. I see you, dog.
What about now?
We'll find out.
A little better?
Yep, much better.
All right. So again, with I'm not crazy with picking Ty Simpson anymore, because since Glenn already made the point that Geno's his guy, then we should just surround him with more weapons, for sure. I think that maybe a nice couple of receivers would be great. What do you think about that?
So your take is because Glenn named Geno the starter, you're out on Ty. How does that make any sense? If you believed in Ty Simpson, nothing Glenn said about Geno Smith in late March should factor into that at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Geno's a little, he's established, man. I think he could read some defenses.
He's going to be 36 years old. He's the starter for the year. Ty Simpson, if you draft him at 16, like you argued you want them to do, you're projecting him to be your long-term starter for hopefully a decade.
I wouldn't draft Ty at 16. I wouldn't do it. Definitely get more weapons though. We need another receiver. I don't see that kid being there, Lemon. But I already told you I'm definitely down to get that tight end. And because they're going to be running different offense this year. They're not going to be like last year. I think they're going to have more tight end sets, and they'll run the ball a little more and use Reese a little more for sure.
Well, I'm not following your point, Brian.
Again, or what?
Did you not want Ty Simpson like the other day when you called in?
Yeah, but not at 16, not anymore. I think you definitely need to get more weapons.
But what do you mean not anymore? That's what I'm not following. What changed? Nothing has changed. So if your take was we should take him at 16, nothing has changed that should alter your opinion.
No, but I did tell you in the beginning, I was happy with Geno that we would sneak into the. I still believe we're sneaking into the wild card. I'm not changing that.
This is a poo-poo take.
We're gonna sneak into the wild card, Jake, and trust me, I'll be calling when that happens. I'll be calling you for that.
I hope you're right. I'll let you fart on the air as much as you want, Brian.
I'll try. I'm gonna try. I live here in Jersey, Sussex, pretty close to Pennsylvania, so I'll try to make it to that draft party, man. But
I'll let you rip ass live on the air, right?
And also I voted for David T. That sportsmanship today, that was amazing, man. He said he was gonna vote for the other guy. That was awesome. Respects.
Brian, great call, man. Hopefully when you listen back to it, you understand why
Have a great day, everyone.
You sound like you're ripping ass. Thank you. I love this comment from Kevin. Don't talk positive. Jake only wants hate. Kevin, are you dumb or stupid? Really? Don't talk positive. Be positive. His take didn't make any sense. He wanted Ty Simpson the other day. Now he doesn't because Glenn came out and supported his quarterback that we all know is going to start the second they made the deal for Geno. That was my issue with his call. There's no consistency with his take. You want to be positive. I hope he's right. I hope they make the playoffs. I'd love to see the Jets end the longest playoff drought in professional sports. I don't want hate. You have no idea what I want. It means your depth. You don't actually listen to words that come out of my mouth. I'm concerned for you. I'm concerned about your health, Kevin. I really am. Be better. Just dumb. Call in, Kevin. Tell me how I only want hate. The guy who spends 4 hours a day talking about the New York Jets. Yes, I want them to be terrible. That'd be great for business. Come on. I want the Jets to be good. I'm just not going to sit here and blindly predict them to go to the playoffs. If someone wants to do that like Brian, God bless him. I hope he's right. We'll call it how it is. They won 3 games last year. Now I'm going to predict them to go to the playoffs because they brought in 36-year-old Geno Smith, who's led the NFL in interceptions over the last 2 years. I'm just realistic. You might not like it. You might think that makes me a hater, but the Jets have not earned the benefit of the doubt. When they earn the benefit of the doubt, I'll give it to them. Example being, I didn't like them getting rid of Nick Folk, but you know what? I didn't like them getting rid of Thomas Morstead a year ago, and Austin McNamara was incredible. Chris Banjo, I think, is a really good coach. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt at kicker, although I'm a little nervous, but I'll give them a chance. They've earned that. Banjo's earned that. Who on the Jets has earned any benefit of the doubt right now? I call it how it is. Kevin says, I've been listening to you for 5 years. If you've been listening to me for 5 years, 1, thank you. And 2, if that's true, then you know I don't want them to be back. Because if you've been listening to me for 5 years, you know that people used to say I was a Jet homer because I picked them to win 12 games in 2023 and in 2024. I thought they were going to win the division. You know, I used to be called a Zach Wilson truther. So clearly, I struck a nerve with you, Kevin, because I don't know what you want me to sit here and say. Let's go back to a man who eats Oreos for breakfast.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That feels better. Oh, baby. All right, as they all say, Superman to the rescue.
Beast. 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 Beast Breaker. Oreos. Oreo. Beast. Beast.
La Puerta Negra.
Looks like the Orioles got the best of them, folks. Alana Noel writes in, vote for Peter Castro, my poppy. The Castro family coming out to support. Right now, we got a close one, folks. Make sure you vote. This is setting up to be maybe our most competitive Asmaniac Madness matchup yet. The 4 versus 5, David T versus Peter Castro. Right now, Castro leads David T 53-47. It's a 3-point game. Robert writes, and I think Geno's going to sling it all over the field, good and bad. He'll throw picks, but throw touchdowns too. At least he'll give them a chance to do something so much better than last year. The one thing that you cannot dispute is the upgrade they have made going to Geno from Fields. That's like, you can't even debate that. Now, how good is Geno? How much does he have left? That's all fair, but he's better than Justin Fields. Like, Geno Smith will at least throw the ball downfield and give his receivers chances to make some plays. So that's encouraging. Kevin says, can't send me to the hole. I don't call this show. Well, we actually can send you to the hole. It's very easy to. We'll just make it so you just can't comment. If you've been watching the show for 5 years, how could you say I thrive off the hate? How could you say that? That's crazy talk. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to a man who's very cool.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey Jake, how's it going, dude?
Hello, Adam. How are you?
Good. I wanted to draw a little positivity today because there's just been so much like hand wringing over Ty. Let some other team just take him off our hands so that we don't have to worry about this choice. That's my prayer. And God, I hope he's not 16. That makes no sense. It's irresponsible to pick him at 16. So I don't think it's going to happen. It's a smoke screen. Just let some other team take him in the late first round and call it a day on that one. But here's the positivity I was thinking about. So like, let's just say Arvell Reese really is, a really unique player, a singularly unique player that could really play in a lot of different positions, really help the defense. I was thinking about Myles Garrett, actually, and how, he was drafted. He was number 1 overall, if I'm not mistaken. He lived up to that reputation. And it wasn't like he was playing this crazy good defensive system. He was the system. He still is the system. It all runs through him. So if Arvell Reese's talent and potential are really sky high, then it doesn't really matter about next year's coach, following year's coach, because some really good players, they're just coach proof. They're going to be awesome. And so I think about like Garrett Wilson, right? Like Garrett Wilson balls out. And as long as he's healthy, he'll be good for 1,000 yards every season, no matter who the coach is. So let's just draft some folks in the first round that are going to be coach proof. And it's not going to really matter because they're just going to contribute really well. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, I think you're spot on as far as like good players are scheme proof a lot of times. Like, especially if you're talking about a player that you're potentially taking in the top 16.
Yeah.
Especially at 2. So I think that's fair. They're going to get a damn good player at 2 if they don't screw this up, which
They have to get someone good at 2. There's no flub in this one. I think all of them have really good floors. So it's just a preference thing. I suppose 16 is where the intrigue is. And I think if there isn't a wide receiver available, I know we talked at length about tight end. Cool. If people love Sadiq, I get it. I still think we were thinking about, why do we always have to draft a lineman in the first round? That's when you only have one pick in the first round. But if you have two, then what's the big deal? To steal a quote from from the Colts owner, do you want to band-aid it or do you want to solve it long term? And we have a long-term need at guard, and we'll figure out where everything else falls. So I'd be all right with the guard position at 16 if someone really good is still available. And I'm also be good at D-line. It's not like we're like totally set at D-line. The more depth you pile there, the better. And
they could take an edge at 2 and then take someone at 33 or 44 again.
They could.
That's very, very much in play. It's a very good receiver and defensive line draft. You'd be playing into the strengths of the draft if you doubled up at either of those positions.
Yeah, definitely. Like if Mesidor's available at 16, that would be very interesting. Although I feel like he's going to end up in the Ravens. He just sounds like a Raven with that. Just the name alone and just what he's going to be able to do. But like if someone like Mesidor is available at 16, that would be very interesting, right?
Agreed.
Okay, you didn't get Bane, but Mesidor is an excellent consolation prize that has proven production as well. So I'm very hopeful for the first round. Just no reaches, please. And, leverage, no reaches. And as you said, go to where there's really strong depth that's coach proof.
Yeah, I'm with you, Adam. I think that's fair. I just wonder how many Indiana players they end up with so you could buy their jerseys.
Pons, second round. I think Glenn won't be able to help himself if Pons is available at 45. I think it'll be a kind of a reach for 33, but then the comparison, just the size comparisons are there. The ball hawkness is there. I mean, everyone could see why Pons would be a pick out of Aaron Glenn. Everyone would know why. So that's my hope. If that's probably the most realistic player, but then I think
what's interesting with Pons though, Adam, when Glenn was asked about corners, he talks about how he wants big, lengthy corners, which is the opposite of what he was. And then they drafted Azarie Thomas, who is the total opposite of a player like D'Angelo Pons. So it'd be interesting if they actually did take him because that kind of goes against what Glenn has said he prefers in a corner. That said, the guy's a really good football player, and he might be 5'9", 5'10", but I saw he had like an incredible vertical.
Yeah,
so he's
an insane vertical.
Which is how you could get drafted at that position because if you're undersized, you got to be able to jump to be able to make plays on the ball, and he could do that.
And he did it on a big stage. That pick 6 to open the game against Oregon was stuff of legends. I was there. The crowd was blowing the decibels out of the stadium from that. Imagine we can have something like that. That'd be great. The other two Indiana players I think would be great in day 3. Aiden Fisher, you've heard me say that. Like Aiden Fisher's a baller. The measurables are one thing, but just look at what he does. And any Indiana Hoosier fan would tell you he was the beating heart of that defense, and he's a great leader. And then Coogan, the center. I mean, what more do you ask for? He's a center on two different national championship teams. I mean, he could be really good depth at center to compete with Myers or Tittman for that matter. So, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's my big draft report. But let's think positively. If we know the first round, I'll be very happy. I think 2 ballers would be great, just like kind of how we did it with Sauce and Garrett.
Well said. Adam, you're the man. Good call by Mr. Too Cool. Make sure you guys vote. Asmaniac Madness ongoing right now. 2-point game between Castro and David T. This is the closest battle this late into a show we've had so far. The winner faces Clifton in the Sweet 16 this afternoon on the show. It's the Lane Train and Ricky and Y. Tomorrow morning, it's Chef Kevin and Neil. Tomorrow afternoon, round of 32, Leany and Thunderlips going at it head to head. Ladies and gentlemen, a message from Thunderlips.
Beast?
Konnichiwa.
What are you doing? It looks like you're peeing over there.
I'm just changing my shirt, and you jerk-offs better stop saying that I'm peeing in the chat, or I'm out of here. Who do you think you are? I am.
Hey, Beast, what are you doing?
I'm eating Oreos brought to you by the good people at Nabrisket. And if you don't like it, you can get your meal ticket and go to the back of the line.
Well, is this extraordinary? Eating Oreos, they're gonna kill you. Is this where my attack money goes to? Only men have the right to vote.
Better shut your mouth, jerk off. Because when I come knocking on your door, you better have a broomstick and a bloody nose ready. Because I'm coming at you.
Hey, pal. Broomstick? Is that a question? Define it. What does it mean? Define it. Define it. Define it.
Pal? Pal's my favorite candy. It's a bubble gum. You should go to the store and buy it. If you can find it. I'm gonna take you like garbage on a cold day. If you can't take the heat, go take a walk on the beach. You're about as useful as a screen door on a Volkswagen. Vote for sanity. Vote for Thunderlips. Oh.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That feels better. Oh, baby. All right, as they all say, Superman to the rescue.
Shout out to Thunderlips. What a video. That Thunderlips versus Leany battle. Oh, man. I am looking forward to that one tomorrow afternoon for a spot in the Sweet 16. Super chat from Gator Mick. Not going to say the whole thing. I own Beast. Okay. Thank you for the super chat there. Beast, would you like to respond to this person claiming to own you?
Eat this.
Okay.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Asmaniacs, it is draft season, which means every Jet fan suddenly thinks they're a GM. We got to take this guy. No, trade back. No, draft a quarterback. Meanwhile, we know how this usually goes, because if there's one thing the Jets have taught us over the years, it's that finding the right talent is kind of important. That's exactly why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is basically your front office, except it actually works. Their smart matching technology finds qualified candidates that fit what you're looking for fast. You can even add screening questions, so you're not wasting time interviewing someone who would have been cut before training camp. No reaches, no busts, just the right picks for your team. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. More of your calls. We go back to the champ of last year's Asmaniac Madness tournament.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Yo. Thunderlips is the man, bro.
He's the best.
I was dying. Shout out to the kiddos, because that was really funny, man.
They killed it, man. They were so great.
I'm still laughing. That's really, and then when you just follow it with Gary's laugh after Beast, it's just that's really good too. Oh shit, man. Funny stuff.
Who'd you vote for?
Oh, I mean, look, David T is a sweetheart, right? I mean, nice, one of the nicest guys, top nicest. It's like him, Kansas City Jet fan. Like, we got a lot of sweethearts on the channel, but he said it himself. David T doesn't want to win. David T voted for Castro. Castro is original OG who will perform when needed. He will jump in a pool. He will ride a bike in the rain. He will do what it takes to win. I got to support my guy Castro all the way here. I love David T. He's such a good soul. And I know that David T's happy whether he wins or loses, and that makes me feel a little better to vote for Castro.
That's a fair take. Hey, I just saw this. It is 50-50 right now.
Wow.
We have never had it tied up this late in a tournament battle here in the year 2026. Vote, folks. Castro or David T. This will come down to the wire.
Dude, you got be careful. If you don't vote for Castro, you hear the 9 Glock loading. He's coming, baby. So to my Jets points, I'm sick of talking draft. I can't believe we have to do it for another month. Exercising what we're going to do at 2. I'm sick of doing it. Everyone has their own feelings on who they want. I don't even know who I want, honestly. I feel like Reese seems like the most potential, but I hate drafting on potential. I see Bailey as a very similar guy to Will McDonald. Will he be able to learn to stop the run? I don't know Sonny Styles looks like a home run pick, but you got to go by the draft chart value. Like, I'm over it, man. The 16th pick is fun, and I want a weapon at 16. Ty said it today that if we're willing to draft him at 33 and, Frankie has a hard on, he's tenting for Ty Simpson. All right. I respect it. I mean, I got to trust him if he wants to do it. But with how this year is lined up, the amount of pressure we will put on this young kid drafting him at 16, and it kind of screwed Geno. I really have gotten myself to feel like it's either Ty in the second round, if they really like him that much, or I am completely comfortable with a day 2 or a day 3 pick on Alar or Carson Beck, or one of these guys who was at one time considered to be the number 1 overall pick. I love these guys that 2 years ago they were going to be number 1. They had a bad year, and now they're development quarterbacks. That's awesome. This year, besides Arch, who is the guy who's was supposed to go number 1 but went back to school? Dante Moore. I don't even like Dante Moore, to be honest.
Yeah, but you would just think a year from now, just like Mendoza came out of nowhere, there'll be more than one guy that will play well enough to warrant the conversation. I don't know who. We could speculate, but as we saw this year, the names we talked about all offseason, Nussmeier, Kate Klubnik, Sellers, we could do that and be wrong. I just think there'll be a better quarterback class a year from now playing the odds, and the Jets are better positioned to draft that guy and put him in the right environment, because Glenn will know if Glenn's here or not. We'll have a better idea on what the roster looks like. We'll have 3 first-round picks to support the quarterback, 4 in the top 44 this year to keep adding to the team. These are all reasons why I wouldn't take Ty at 16. I would only do it in the second round if that scenario presents itself.
I 100% agree. If they like Ty enough, I would be comfortable if they traded into the late first rounds to jump someone like Arizona coming back in to get him. If they liked him that much, that's going to be their call. If it was up to me, I personally don't like the odds against Ty. Like, I love his mental makeup. I feel like he can make all the throws, but when you look at the statistics of the history of how often someone with his amount of games played actually turns into something, that really stacks the odds against you. And I'll go back to saying it, man. I don't mind taking one of these developmental quarterbacks that were considered to go, top 5, before the 25 season started. Now they had a bad year, and now the development. Let's do that, man. Let's let a guy come in with no pressure, right? New York is tough to play in, man. We are not easy on our guys. We are very impatient. You have a bad game, we're going to be chanting Strevler. You know what I'm saying? So let's just let's get a guy who can sit in the back and develop, man. That's what I want. Let Geno have his shot. What if Geno has us at 6-8 on the bubble in December? I'll be happy with that. So that's my take, man. Sick of talking these drafts, but we got the Asmaniac Madness going on, baby. Let's do it.
It's all happening, Bones. And your endorsement for Peter Castro, is that enough for him to win? Because now it's 51-49. So maybe you just moved some votes towards Castro because it was 50-50 at the start of your call.
Well, David T, I apologize for doing that. But you did it yourself, man.
I got my eye on you, Jake.
Joe Bonesy. Can Joe Bonesy become a regular? We need him to start calling.
I know. You think I only like to talk football? Joe Bonesy's only talking football, so
yeah.
But he still knows everybody. But Cisco asks me every morning in the chat who he should vote for. And before David T came on, I said, listen, if you ask David T would tell you to vote for Castro. But so unfortunately, you got to go Castro here. David T's the man, but I got my back. I got Castro's back. That's my guy. So,
ladies and gentlemen, the defending champ, Mr. Bonesy.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Unbelievable. What a show this has been. I still got time for some calls. We got some heavy hitters still to come on the show. But what I need to do right now is I need to take a short break. And then on the other side, we are going to get to all of your remaining calls. Plus, for those who tuned in late, we have an awesome giveaway across our shows today. It's for a signed Mark Gastineau helmet. Make sure you enter the Asmaniac raffle by gifting a membership or sending in a $10 super chat or higher. We will raffle that baby away at the end of our second show. But first, quick break, and we're back with more. I wanted to roll in some more film because tomorrow on the program, it's Frankie V versus Joe Blewett in a debate over who the Jets should take it to. Frankie V can't stand Arvell Reese. Joe Blewett is out for blood to try and prove Tanky V wrong. Here's a little primer on some film on both to set the stage.
This is what's called Monday Film Room, looking around at teammates going, what the hell is this guy doing? Here's Bailey. Let's run it through. This is a classic. He's not going to take on a little physicality for us, for me, for his teammates. And this is a classic contrast between a guy who avoids contact, Bailey, and a guy who doesn't, Reese, and who's willing to do the little things for his defense, to not destroy the integrity of that defense. Counter, fake pitch, counter, 2nd and 9, championship game. Bailey avoids the kick out. Are we serious? It's a 4-man front. Here's Bailey up top. He's edge. He's the force player. Now, D-tackle, inside step. I don't know if he's following or if it's planned. If it is inside and someone's replacing Bailey on the edge, that's even worse. If someone's replacing him on the edge, even though no one comes, you should take this kick out with your outside shoulder and try to muck it up right here. Right here, muck it up, make the back go around. He tries to avoid. When you're coming down as the force player, at this point, you're outgunned. D-tackle, slant it in. Take this on. If you're the force player, take it on with your inside shoulder. Leave your outside free, but at all costs, attack and muck it up. Muck it up right here. Do damage. Car accident. This way, the counter, the ball carrier, has to cut it up quicker or take more time to bounce it out. If someone's replacing you off the edge, it's even worse what he does, because you got to take it on with your outside shoulder, just cut down the space, do the right thing for your teammates. But when he comes down, okay, screech, 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 screech. Now you know the kick out's coming. You got a puller also coming, classic counter. Get in there. Be violent. Helmet on under the chin, crown under the chin. He stops. That's how you play crap defense, folks. He stops. And it just gives way for the puller coming through to clean up on the second level. Major issue here. And it's not a one-time thing. Meanwhile, you got a guy, Reese, 2 years younger, weighs 7 or 8 pounds less, doing this off the edge. Bang. Squeeze. Flat. Aggressive. Physical. Doing the right thing for his teammates. He sees the kick out. Here he is to the left. Sees the kick out and attacks it. Attack it. Don't elude. Boom. See what he does for his team? See the difference? This is football. Again, Bailey, great hands, has a chance to be a great pass rusher at the NFL level. Not a 3-down player. This guy is. He's 2 years younger. He's outweighed by Bailey, and yet he's so much more physical and violent, I can't even tell you. He does all the little things so much better. It's mind-boggling that it's even a discussion at 2. This is how you play football. Edge, 3-3-5, reads it, tight end, down immediately, snuffs it out. Here comes the kick. Takes it on perfectly. Head outside, peeking, flat. So the back has to make a decision, has to take time. He has got to make a quicker decision. Doesn't know what to do, tries to slither through, even though Miami almost has a seal. If Reese is too far downhill, doesn't squeeze it too far enough, the back could easily have found something here. But Reese makes it happen, anchors up, outside shoulder pad, detaches, and then makes the play, in on the play. That's defense, folks.
Robbie is very good at breaking it down and kind of showing you all the things from a coaching perspective that I think teams are going to look at Reese and why they're going to value him. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not heard from this man directly. We played his campaign video earlier on in the show. Let's say hello to a man who right now is currently in a tight Asmaniac Madness battle. It is 52-48. Peter Castro leading. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from the man himself.
Weed, this is for you. Oh, shit. How are you, Jake?
Hello, Peter.
I'm good. I just want to say to Dave, good luck. And I really love the guy. He's the nicest guy on the show. He's a sweetheart. He's very hard to go against. Very hard. He's really nice guy. There's nothing negative you could say about him. But what I will say is that the Jets better get a quarterback, Jake. All right?
I agree.
All right? And I don't want to hear about Ty Simpson at 33. He might not be there. They better go get him. Because I'm telling you, he's going to be the quarterback of our future. You're going to see a change in. I have a funny feeling that there's a lot more going on behind the scenes than you think.
So you think the Jets like Ty? That's their guy.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless they're blind.
Why do you like Ty so much? What have you seen that makes you confident that they should pick him?
He's smart. He looks at the field. He knows where the receivers are. He's quick. He gets rid of the ball quick. It's just what we need. You know,
you're sold. The lack of starts and the history of guys.
Listen, he's been on the bench for Alabama for 3 years. All right, so he could stay on the bench for the Jets, even if Geno is doing good. You know what? Let him learn. Let him sit there and learn, and save those 3 number ones for next year. Don't use them. Use them on great players at different positions, because anybody you get after the first 20 in this draft. It's a needle in a haystack. You don't know what you're getting. I don't even know if it's the first 20. It's maybe the first 15.
Now, you had belief in Justin Fields, though. So what's the difference here?
Okay, the difference in Justin Fields is he's a running quarterback that they tried to turn into a pocket passer. So like the rest of the team, he screwed up everybody. Nobody was any good on that team last year. Tell me one thing that Aaron Glenn did right on that team. He has Justin Fields as a pocket passer. He was never a pocket passer. You can't make him a pocket passer. And Tanner Enstrand didn't use him properly. They don't use Breece Hall. They don't use the other guy, Allen. They don't use anybody right. You know, hopefully Reich will straighten it out. And we'll get on our move. Am I confident? No.
Then why would we take a quarterback at 16 if we're not confident in the coaching?
What's the difference if we take him this year or next year?
Well, next year probably is a new head coach, because I don't think the current coaching staff is good enough to survive a season where they're not going to win.
All right, so
6 games.
You got Ty Simpson.
Yeah, but how do we know what Ty Simpson would be if then we go through this year where they're terrible, they don't win enough, and there's a new coaching staff coming in, and they didn't draft Ty. They might want their own guy.
All right, so draft another one then, and then trade him.
So then we just wasted the 16th pick in the draft. That doesn't bother you?
No, because you don't know what you're getting anyway. You might get Makai Lemon, and he's in outer space someplace. I mean, we've done this before.
What's more likely, Makai Lemon is awesome or Ty Simpson is awesome?
I'm sure that Makai Lemon will be awesome as long as he has a quarterback that can throw him the ball. We need a quarterback, Jake. We don't have a quarterback or a coach.
Could throw him the ball for the year, and they could get their long-term answer in 2027.
If that's whatever they want to do, I'm a Jet fan, so I'm going to be 100% behind it. But if I were them, I would get the quarterback, try him out, put him out there after 10 games, see what he has, because I don't see any point in waiting. This year was supposed to be a magnificent draft full of quarterbacks. Next year could be the same thing. There's no guarantee we're going to get Archie Manning or any of the other ones if we win 6 or 7 games. We'll have to give up a couple of those draft choices to get who we want. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep them.
Now, let me ask you this, Peter. Right now, you're in a tightly contested battle, 53-47. Do you have the motorbike nearby? Is that going to be a play of yours if you need some votes last second? Are you going to go jump in the pool? What is your strategy here if this gets really tight at the end?
You know what I was going to do? I was going to make a tape and dedicate it to Nate because he's not in the tournament this year. And I was going to go for a bicycle ride. But we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, right now you're up. So you just got to hold on and survive in advance. But it doesn't get any easier for you. If you win, you got to take on Kyle Clifton.
Well, you know what? taking on Kyle Clifton in this kind of a forum is better than being in a bus with him while he's giving you a lap dance. You know.
You're one of a kind, Peter Castro.
All right, Jake. Have a good day.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Peter, you're the man. Leanie in North Carolina checking in. She's in the raffle for 2. Sorry, but tomorrow I will not be as nice as David T. I will not be voting for Thunderlips. Vote for Leanie in North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, the 16th seed, Leanie in NC, taking on the 9 seed, Thunderlips, for a spot in the Sweet 16 tomorrow afternoon.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
No, it's Queen Leanie. The silver hair beauty. She loves the Jets. Leanie used one punch to take down the beast. Queen Leanie is the best. The Asmaniac home pass is Queen Leanie.
Incredible. Incredible. All right, more of your calls right now. We got some legends on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, a member of the 69th team is next.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Shaky boy, what's up?
Hello, Neil.
Peter and I had a conversation before the show, and we were going over the very same point. So I got to ditto everything. Peter took all my wins, so I'll just take a ditto on what Peter said all the way down the line.
Wow. Now let me ask you this, Neil. So what's your strategy against Chef Kevin tomorrow morning?
Well, first off, I want to say I love David T. He's a wonderful guy, sweetheart. You know, he loves the Jets. He loves the show, no doubt about it. And but this is the time when you really, this is serious stuff here. This is not game. There's no more games. All right. This is down to the nitty gritty here. And, I like Chef Kevin. He's a nice guy. I like to eat his food, everything else. But, he's a Paul Boy Green guy. He's not a Jake Asman guy.
Wow, you're saying he's not an Asmaniac? I just heard that.
He's an Asmaniac, but he's if you really got to put a gun to his head, he loves Paul Boy Green. He's on that show a lot. So I'm a pure Asmaniac, 100%. This is my show. This is the show I love. This is where I live. I love all the Asmaniacs. Marie, could you say vote for Neil tomorrow? Here.
Vote for Neil tomorrow.
That's my daughter, Marie. She's stopped by to say hello. But anyhow, I just wanted to say I like David T. Love all the Asmaniacs. I have nothing to say as far as the draft. I'm so tired of it, Jake. I'm just like Bonesy. I can't take this draft stuff anymore. It's driving me crazy. Look, if Muji, I'm hoping, this is what I hope. I hope they love this guy Simpson enough to take him at 16. If they don't, they don't. It's not up to us. It's up to the coaching staff. And I'm sure Muji, who was a quarterback, I'm sure they did a lot of homework, Jake, on this guy. And if they like him, they'll take him at 16. Are we going to be upset if we do or not?
I mean, I would I be upset? I'd be a little concerned and disappointed. I would get it, though. I got to put, again, if they take him at 16, you have to hope everyone's aligned in that decision, that Muji is obviously on board with it and thinks that he's the guy. And if that's the case, you got to be right, because you don't automatically get 2027 now. Like I've been operating under the thought process. I think Muji, if he just builds the team up, I think he's here. I don't know about Glenn, but I think he'd be here. If you take Ty at 16, I think that opens the door for a bunch of different things.
Right. I mean, at the very least, if we take him, right, if we took Simpson, we're going to see him for at least 5 or 6 games. That's the one good thing. At least we'll see him this year, because realistically, we're not going to be if all things fall, even if Geno overperforms, I think that we'll still see Simpson enough to really make an assessment on whether he's good or not. Next year, we might, look, I'm hoping that Glenn fails as a D coordinator, so there's no doubt that we get rid of him. The way I see it playing out, Jake, I think that Reich might be our coach for the second half, having an audition. Maybe we go with Sean McDermott next year. He'll be the head coach / D coordinator, and maybe he keeps Frank Wright as an offensive coordinator. And then we have him develop the quarterback and see where it goes in 27. I just don't. I feel that with the Jets, we're not going to get Arch Manning. Let's face it. If we do, that means we're really going to suck next year. And I don't want to suck that bad to win 1 or 2 games. Do you, Jake?
Let's see. Kyle Clifton says, I didn't even know a bus lap dance was on the table.
Well, let's put it this way. We're going.
Uh-oh. I guess the StreamYard gods had enough of Neil's 13 points for the day. Uh-oh.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Either way, good call, Neil. Let's see. Tyrone in the raffle for 4. I think that AG should not name a starting quarterback till the preseason so that no QB on the team feels like it's going to be super easy to get the job. Well, I'll tell you what. I agreed with this last year when Fields had not proven anything, but Geno's proven more in the league. And like the backup right now is not Tyrod, it's Bailey Zappi, So I understand why you're going to name Geno the starter. I think it'd be silly not to. I think last year was a different set of circumstances. Fields was coming off a year where he was predominantly a backup. He got benched with the team at 4-2. He had been a terrible starter in the league from a record standpoint. Geno, no matter how anyone feels about what he is at this stage or the upside, 2 of the last 4 years, he's thrown for 4,000 yards in the season. So I think this is a different situation than last year. And I'm no Glenn defender, but I'm not going to be outraged over him naming Geno the starter. And then Tyrone says, I'm actually trying to win the Mark Gastineau helmet you're raffling away. Well, I'll tell you what, Tyrone. You have a chance to win it now. You're in for 4. Thank you. Second show today, we raffle that one away. All right, more of your calls. Let's say hello to Jamal, who's up next. Hey, Jamal.
Hey, what's going on, Jake? How you doing?
What's up, Jamal? How are you?
Good, good. Just over here watching this guy. So.
Oh, what's his name?
His name's Moose.
Moose. Great name.
Yeah. Hey, Moose. Say hi.
Moose,
there
what's up?
Yeah, there he is. So, yeah. Man, I don't know if I'm going crazy or not, but I kind of am starting to feel a little bit more convinced about taking Sadiq at 16 and then also going for BTJ, have him be our wide receiver, because I just kind of feel like the 3 top receivers are going to be gone by 16, and I can imagine a world where we would be doing a lot more 12 personnel, and Sadiq ran like a 4-3. There's just a lot that we could do with him, and then we could get another receiver, and I think that would just really open things up, and I can imagine a situation where, Mason and him are kind of like a real matchup problem, and then we can really unlock Breece Hall, because we got some bigger dudes up there that can just really plow the way for him. So I don't know. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, they need to get as many weapons as possible. I agree with that premise. I think it comes down to cost. What does it cost to get BTJ? I don't think I would trade more than pick 44. I think that'd be my limit.
Yeah. But if we could package up something like that, and then, if we get Ty, with 33, or try and package up something for him without sending away next year's picks, I would be fine with that, because I really like, the more and more I watch him, his feet, his mechanics are just super sound. And I think he could be a good quarterback. But I definitely not at 16. But I don't know. I just feel like for some reason something's telling me that the wide receivers are going to be gone. And I could see Sadiq being a hell of a weapon. And we could do a lot of creative stuff. Like, Reich would be able to, I'm sure, unlock Brees and our two tight ends, and we
I'm
could
not
be
against
dangerous with
Sadiq.
that.
I just
Yeah.
think I think I still lean with one of the receivers over him though. Like I still would go with Omar Cooper Jr. over Kenyon Sadiq if he's
Okay.
there. Now it'd be interesting to see if like Cooper goes before that and it's Tyson who's there at 16, given the injury concerns. Would you go Sadiq or would you
I
take
would
Jordan
go
Tyson?
Sadiq. I don't like the knee, just all the injury stuff. Like that's, I know, and like the hamstring. I know that that's been borne out to be wrong in the past, but we need more sure things. I think I just feel like I'd rather go with more of a sure thing, and Sadiq also, like, he would open up a lot more than just a receiver. He could be a receiver, and then he could be like our Y. And but also I think with the running game he would open up a lot with the running game, and we could really unleash we can unleash Brees, and it would really give us a kind of a lot of matchup problems throughout the year. I think.
All fair. I like Sadiq, because I look at him as a big slot. Like he's just a giant receiver, could be great for some matchups. And they need that talent. They need weapons. So do I love taking a tight end in round one? Not necessarily, but do I think he might be the best available pass catcher when they're up at 16? That scenario could exist. So I don't hate that take at all.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that was all I had.
Jamal, great call, man. Call in more, right? You and Moose.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. It'll be somebody else next week. So
love it. Jamal, check it in. Good stuff from him. We're presented today by IndaCloud. Shout out to IndaCloud for being one of our brand new sponsors. And look, I'll tell you what's underrated. Actually enjoying your downtime instead of feeling drained by it. That's why I love IndaCloud. As things start picking up again, we got the draft this upcoming month, more shows, more content. I'm all about staying balanced. IndaCloud makes that easy. It's a fully legal online cannabis dispensary with gummies, premium flower, pre-rolls, and my personal favorite, the zero sugar THC sodas. I'll tell you this, after a long day of talking Jets and dealing with Beast Breakers BS, when you're going live as much as I am, one of these sodas at night just helps me reset. No alcohol, no sluggish feeling, just a smooth way to unwind and stay sharp. Everything is lab tested, federally legal hemp THC, and it ships discreetly right to your door. So if you're 21 or older, listen up. Get 35% off your first order and free shipping on orders over $50 at indacloud.com when you use code Asman. That's indacloud.com, code Asman, 35% off and free shipping over $50, indacloud.com, code Asman. And don't forget to fill out the quick survey after checkout to support the show. Enjoy responsibly, and shout out to IndaCloud for sponsoring the Jake Asman Show. This is a product that I know, if I know my audience, is going to do quite well. So use that promo code at checkout and take advantage of that offer. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a battle that everyone is now looking forward to tomorrow afternoon. Chef Kevin and Neil. We heard from Neil. Now we hear from Chef Kevin. Hey now.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Jake, man, how you doing, brother?
What is up, Chef Kev?
Not nothing too much, man. I just got in from, playing some baseball with my son. It's baseball season now, so we're getting ready. It's 2-a-day season right now, so me and him, since he's off this week in school, it's important that we get the practice in. He has his team practice tonight, but gotta work it out, man. All the hits, the pitching, the whole nine and whatnot. I just got in the door, and my boy Mike D's nuts, man. He sent me a text saying that Neil's talking about me. I'm like, all right, Neil talks what he talks. I'm like, let me see what he's talking about. I missed the show, unfortunately, but I did hear Neil, who I respect. I told Neil's in my top 3 with Asmaniacs, but his bozo comments, was like, Neil, what are you talking about, man? Neil, be serious. I heard you saying that I'm a BG guy and not an Asmaniac. You a fool. That's a foolish take. That's more dumb than that Simpson at 16 talk. What are you talking about? Yo, as Maniac till I die, y'all already know. And when y'all want to talk about what I have done for the Asmaniac community, from last Asmaniac Madness to now, I've done way more than you, Neil. Way more than you. And I got all my receipts. All of them. So before you go on here and start talking smack about me, make sure you point the finger at yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, hey, yes, Neil. Did I do as much as I can for the Asmaniac community, knowing I'm going up against Chef Kevin Gilbert? Because he's going to call me out. So I got to make sure I got all my ducks in a row. And Neil, you don't, man. You're not a draft guy. The stuff you talk about with the draft is all bozo clown stuff. You make no damn sense. Stick to the cigar talks, all right? And even the cigars you smoking, man, you smoking those Romeo Juliets. You ain't smoking the big boy cigars. I saw your humidor. It's lacking cigars, all right? You got time to fill it up for tomorrow to make the appearance look like you got a lot of them. Get quality. Before you start talking about me, Neil, make sure you put some respect on my name. You have no idea what I've done for the community. Simple as that. What the green and white scrimmage? Where did we have the party at? Cloverleaf Tavern, right? Charles, Legends, Jake West, Nate, I could go on. Mike D's, I'd go on about the legends there. Jake was there, Nick Shine, legends. All right, I'm gonna save some of that stuff for tomorrow because you talking the clown talk. Don't do that. When you come and talk about somebody, especially me, who I've told you I respect, make sure you come with it. And you know why I call into Boy Green Show every single Wednesday morning, because I'm at work. It's 7:30, 8 o'clock. There's nothing going on. I'm sitting at my spot and I make my calls. Guess what? I love BG. I love Jake. I don't flip-flop. I've shown my lead. I'm cool with everybody. But one thing you can't say is that I'm not an Asmaniac. Y'all know that. So don't talk crap about me saying I'm not an Asmaniac, because I am. And I've done way more this past year than you have. So make sure when you're talking about me, you put some damn respect on my name.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Neil, Chef Kevin, tomorrow on the second show. Need I say more? We're making our way through the round of 32. End of this show, we will know Kyle Clifton's opponent. It will either be Peter Castro or David T. Right now, Castro leading 53-47. This afternoon, the Lane Train is in action against Ricky and Y. Tomorrow morning, or excuse me, that's tomorrow morning, Chef Kevin and Neil. I want to make sure I get my times right here. Tomorrow morning is Chef Kevin and Neil. And then the afternoon show tomorrow will start the next round of 32 in the new region, the Dangerous Alliance region. That will get underway with Leany and Thunderlips. All right, there's your look at the round of 32s coming in the Dangerous Alliance region. Leany, the 16th seed, after knocking out Beastbreaker in the opening round. It's going to be quite the battle, folks. Get ready.
Don't let go of the rope. What rope are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell do you think you are? I am.
Hey, Beast, do you think Leany is going to knock out Thunderlips?
As CM Punk once said, we'll see what happens. But in return, nobody doubts my ass, because you know what? I'm more far real and I'm more far superior. And if anyone can't stand it, get out my goddamn kitchen and take a number. Mike, drop.
Hey, what happened to your Oreo cereal?
I had to take a Renzo, a hot one.
Are you going to have Oreos for breakfast all the time?
That was an exclusive.
Oh.
You got to remember something. If I find deals that I want, I'll get whatever I have to. It's called strive to survive.
Hey, Spencer Green says CM Punk never said any of this, idiot.
He's Spencer Green's a retard. He should go back and steal his own mama's credit.
On behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
I'm real and he's a pug. He should be pumping gas somewhere wherever he's living.
Did you call him a pug or a punk?
He's a pug.
A pug, like a dog?
What do you think I look like? You think I'm running a soup kitchen? That guy's an idiot. He should get slapped in the face. Jerk off. He's a loser. He's weak. He's not in my league. He couldn't carry my bags, my boots, or my jockstrap.
When was the last time you wore a jockstrap?
Oh, high school. I've done that a long time ago. In a galaxy very far away. Very far away.
Now you're quoting Star Wars now.
I've been watching that for almost 40 years since I was a child, and I'm proud of that. I take my shower, I'm proud of that. Am I proud of my hair? Yeah, I'm proud of that.
You said you take a shower and you're proud of that?
Yeah, you're damn right.
I mean, I think at the bare minimum, every human being should shower, no?
No shit. I play hard. I play fair.
Now, what's this beef that you and Gator have? Why are you emailing me nonsense all weekend?
It's fire. Just because I'm expanding myself, trying to vent out frustration after 15 months, and then personalization has to be added to the mix. See, that's what happens when you unleash fire. See, I'm like a cannon. All I gotta do is put all the heavy bullets in, and all you gotta hear is. That's what you gotta do. Lift up heavy bullets.
All right, now I'm going to need you to explain this incoherent slop of an email I received. You wrote, "Let me tell you something. You, Eric Bischoff Kendall, I've been a Jet guy 28 years, and you think you could just walk all over me? I'm like Roddy Piper. I will tell you right off the bat, I hate liars and jerks and scam artists and thieves who cross my path. For years, I deal with bullies and fake girls who lie through the teeth and make up excuses to see me fail. Well, you don't want to fight me because you'd be crushed. See, I've been to hell and back. Yeah, I go to thrift stores for my t-shirt and boxers. It's because you didn't write that. I'm not rich like certain people. And just because I live in a shitty-ass state with shitty-ass Democrats, I'm a real person. God damn it, I need to kiss ass on the show because I'm a man and too legit. The world and the real people of Japan, plus Curie Metro High School, saw me get screwed over. So that says it all. You set me up and broke me. Well, I have to do what Ric Flair did to Bischoff. It will be an honor to fight for my freedom and pay because it's a rough world out here. Just remember that. Bottom line, I am the truth. Mic drop. None of that makes any sense. Can you please explain?
That right there tells it all. See the world already. They saw the screw job. See, always remember, if you don't know what a screw job is, it's all proof in the pudding. I've seen many screw jobs happen. Brett getting screwed by
you got outvoted. Leany beat you fair and square.
No. Yes, see that right there.
Leany beat you fair and square.
Again, more fantasy than ever before.
No, she got more votes than you did.
Right, I smell. I can.
You come in and you're always angry all the time. Leany's very pleasant to be around.
Right. Well, let's look at it. Some people live in a nice state. Some people live in a shit state.
I don't know what that has to do with you losing an Asmaniac
Madness.
Well,
that's a lot to do.
Hey, Beast, do you hear that sound? It's Leany music.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
No, it's Queen Leany. The silver hair beauty. She loves the Jets. Leany used one punch to take down the beast. Queen Leany is the best. The Asmaniac home pass. It's Queen Leany.
Fucking diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
All right, one last call before we wrap this baby up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Beast Whisperer is on the line.
When he's home, his bell is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his bell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his bell is on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. Well, the big fella sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Well, that's a big fella.
Big fella.
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Good. Yeah. This whole getting BTJ and stuff like that. I like better the option of signing Jawan Jennings and keeping all our picks. I think that would be a better move. We have the cap space. He's a dog. I think that's what we should do. What do you think?
BTJ, I am all for if it's just pick 44 because I'll take a chance on the guy that talented. He already produced his rookie year. I do have concerns though. There's a reason why he's available.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a thing that like pissed me off this weekend with Gator and Beast. This whole argument, and I would like. Can I talk to him, please? Can I talk to
Beast?
Yes.
Well, you could try, but as we know, that's not always the most effective strategy. But let's give it a whirl.
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo.
We know you're there, bro. Put on the camera. We know you're there. I just saw the thing move. A real man would put the camera on, and you said in your message that you're a real man, so put it on. Look, I've had enough of this, okay? You lost in the tournament. I don't need to hear about it, that you got screwed. You didn't get screwed. You lost. Okay? You need to accept that. Okay? You accept it, you move on. Okay? You told me in a message that you've been lashing out because you have anger issues. If you have anger issues, okay, and you identify that, that's the first step in fixing it. Okay? If you know you're getting angry, you step away from it. Okay? Now, the whole thing with Gator. Okay? Gator has been there for you from the beginning. Okay? Gator has when Bobby Beasley was on your ass, he was there for you. Okay? We all have been, and we all take time out of our lives to be there for you. Okay? But you need to take responsibility. You hear me? Enough of this shit. Okay? Gator has done more for you than most would. Okay? And who's the first person you run to when someone says something bad or, offends you in a way? It's Gator. And then you're going to talk shit about like, oh, Gator played his cards wrong. Bullshit. You need to understand. Gator is the one who's been there for you the whole fucking time, bro. Enough is enough. You understand that? Enough. We all have been here for you. We all care about you. We all take time out of our lives for you. Okay? Enough of the complaining, enough of the bullshit. Be a man and move on. A real man would confront Bobby Beasley, bro. He wouldn't run to Gator. I'll confront Bobby Beasley. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You need to do it. Be a man and do it. And stop bitching about losing in a tournament to Leany. Okay? You lost. So what? It's a fun tournament. It's supposed to be. No one takes it serious. You got it? Don't give me this pouting bullshit. Do you got it? Yes or no? I can't see. All right. Jake, that's all I got.
I'm putting icy hot on my back. This will take off the pain and the blemishes.
Hell, stop. Ladies and gentlemen, what a moment from the big fella. And how about this from Frank P? 20 gifted memberships. Let's go, Frank P.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
It's raining channel memberships. Frank P. in the Asmaniac Raffle for 20 entries from Frank. Here's who got a membership. Team Curry, Bear Cuts Hair, Damon Bennett, Amy Cartatera, Oregon Stacker, Marquez Matthew, Chocolate Chip Scotchy, Beast, Grow Up, Runny Poo, J Chip Show, Ali Nishati, Brad Levitt. Shout out to Brad. He's a great father. NYR Tim, Blessed Mel J, My Backyard, Beast, Stop Being a B-Ach Viante, Kazi Rollet, Terrence Connors, Coach Andrew Fialco, all receiving a channel membership from the incomparable Frank P. Frank, you were the man, and you, my friend, are in our Mark Gastineau helmet raffle at the end of the show for 20 entries. Let's go.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That feels better. Oh, baby. All right, as they all say, Superman to the rescue.
Frank P, thank you very much. I got you down. Spencer Green, I see your super chat saying, Beast, a crybaby. Wah, wah. All right, we got that one. Red, ladies and gentlemen, that's a show. You guys are the best. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We are nearing 45,000 subscribers, which for brands and advertisers, that matters. So that's a nice whole number to be at. So appreciate all of you for helping us get close. We're at 44,855. Hopefully we get to 45K by the time we get to the NFL draft, which is coming up in just 24 days. You guys are the best. I will talk to you this afternoon. We will be live reacting to whatever the heck Darren Muji says today. I was told by someone that Muji's expected to talk around 4 p.m. Eastern, which is when I plan on going live. So we will react to what the Muj says in real time this afternoon. You guys are the best. Like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. But before we get out of here, I almost forgot. Time to close out voting in Asmaniac Madness. Ladies and gentlemen, advancing to the Sweet 16 is none other than Peter Castro, who defeats David T by a final score of 53-47. 443 total votes were cast. Great battle. It was 50-50 late in the show. Castro with a late run to solidify the W, but David T went out there and gave it his best. He didn't even vote for himself, and he almost won. That just shows you how beloved David T is. Congrats to Peter. It will be Peter Castro and Kyle Clifton set to meet in the Sweet 16 this afternoon. Get set for the Ricky and Lane Train battle. I'm certainly looking forward to that, and I know the Asmaniac community is as well. All right, that does it for me. I will leave you guys with a clip that I believe needs to be played to encapsulate what it is we all witnessed on this very show. As always, go Jets. I'll talk to you soon. Jets, 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 Jets.
Hey, look, soy boy. Do I need to remind you where you came from, Estevato, with those ugly up cornrows?
You act like a child because you still haven't hit puberty. When was the last time you took a shower? When are you going to get a new t-shirt on? Did you brush your teeth this morning?
Because I look twice as sexy than your sorry ass. You filthy little degenerate. You're a straight up asshole. Have you ever been in a mosh pit?
Answer a question. Your inability to stay focused whatsoever, combined with being 200 pounds overweight, not being able to get out of your house. Do you think that's related to your diet or not?
You really got some balls, don't you, you little bastard?
I'm asking you a question. Do you think it's related to your diet? Yes or no?
I look good. I look just as good. All you're just doing is blowing smoke up my ass, like act like you're God's gift to the United States. When it comes to a fourth down, you punt the ball. On fourth down, what I do, I like to ram it down people's throats. That's my job.
Right? You're a young man. You're the same age as me. I think you're younger than me. You don't need to live this way. You really don't.
I got to deal with one guy that looks like a fruitcake from the Eddie Murphy movie when Eddie Murphy said, "One of them dreadlocks and they some shit lost."
Even though you look like a butterball turkey, I do love you.
What the hell did you say, clown boy? We got the three dumbest morons on here. Mo, Larry, and Curly.
And your name is Shitty.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.